for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
It's the After the Show podcast, precious.
We don't care, we're about to swear on the air. It's the After the Show, so tune in if you dare. KVJ, get your skate every single day. It's uncensored. We can say what we want to say.
Yeah, what is up? Welcome to the Tuesday KVJ After the Show broadcast. Welcoming everybody who's checking us out on Twitch now. If you do Twitch, go and check us out there.
I twitch.
You twitch?
Yeah.
Twitch a lot, huh?
The day after I fall and give myself a concussion.
Oh, yeah.
I'm twitching.
That might be called a convulsion. I'm not sure. You recovered yet from the weekend? Okay.
I definitely, something's wrong with me.
It's more permanent than that?
Dude, it's weird. My head, it's not right.
Your head's not right.
No.
You've done permanent damage.
I feel pain. I feel weirdness. I feel buzzing. When I lay down and I close my eyes, there's like buzzing.
Wow.
It wasn't there before.
Okay.
There's a massive knot on the back of my head that is very sore.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah, it's kind of crazy for me because Kim and I, we were in Chicago and went bar hopping on Saturday, and I wake up, I feel fine. It's not even a problem. But I mean, we were bouncing around. It was kind of a rainy, colder day. It's nothing else to do really, honestly. And so we're bouncing around, just having drinks, and I wake up so tired. I was tired and bloated yesterday. I almost feel normal today. I'm just like, what the heck, man?
Almost.
Yeah, almost. I would say I'm still maybe 85, 90%. Like, I still need one more day. I'm like, the hell, man? It's just crazy. I just don't know if it's just I don't do it enough anymore, or my body's changed, or all the above. But I did see this, that they were talking about smart drinkers, and in a survey of people 21 and over, 52% consider themselves to be smart drinkers. So I guess 48% don't.
48% are honest.
Yeah. And the smart drinkers recommend 2 drinks per hour, sticking with 1 low alcohol by volume beverage and eating before drinking. And that seems like probably good advice. And, I would say that a lot of us who do drink and go out, that a lot of the times you're a smart drinker. You have a few and it's fine. You relax. You have a good time. You have more laughs than you typically would if you weren't drinking, and it's all good. But all it is it's just that one day it kind of gets away from you. You're in a different environment. Everything's a little bit off. Because if you're at home or someplace like that, it's a controlled environment. You can control your booze. And sometimes when you're bar hopping, you go to a place and we don't have that. You're like, oh man.
Fuck you, I'm going to backhand the bouncer.
It throws you off your thing. Like for me, I've got a little array of what I drink. And, the beer adds the calories, bloats you up a little bit. I don't really do carbs. So if I'm doing a whole bunch of beers, don't like that. The high noons, which is your vodka cocktail, that's about the same alcohol by volume, supposedly, as a Corona, though I feel like you feel the high noons a little bit more.
They burn different.
They do.
They burn more like a White Claw.
I haven't noticed that because the White Claw definitely burns different because that's a malt liquor, and that makes you angry and fucking crazy. You get nuts. I think these got a little bit more kick than a Corona, so I don't know if I completely believe the alcohol by volume.
The White Claw, there's an anger / optimism to it. There's energy, but there's anger, but you're kind of happy.
The optimism is I'm sure I'm going to kick your ass.
Yeah.
That's the only optimism.
There's a happiness you're pissed.
I'm positive I'm about to kick someone's ass.
Yeah, it makes you happy.
Yeah, so when that happens, you might find yourself in a situation where it's like, oh, okay, you don't have that. If I'm only having one, basically, I usually like to have a tequila. It's something nice, it's slow, you sip it, you feel good, and you're all good. So at a bar, I'm never going to be going tequila. Like, that just can't happen. So I'm smart for that. But what might happen if you don't have the high noon? You're like, all right, my wife would be like, let's just get a Cabernet. And now all of a sudden you've jumped into the 9 or 13% or whatever it is alcohol,
Nice.
and you've thrown the whole game off.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
You do that late in the day. That's why it takes you 2 days to recover.
Or if you do that early in the morning, people are going to look at you like, damn, he's drinking wine early.
I do that all the time. Yeah. Keep in mind, I'm usually done by 3 in the afternoon. Yeah, I tap out sooner than a lot of people. So that's kind of where the numbers are on people who think that they're good, smart drinkers. But again, 48% are like, I'm not a smart drinker. And even of the 52 who think that they are, there's got to be a time if you dance with the devil, every now and then the damn devil's going to step on your feet.
To me, it's like baseball. A lot of good games in there, a lot of bad games in there.
That's it. You're not going to win every one.
No, it's a long season.
Yeah, it is. So we're still rebounding here on Tuesday, getting ourselves back together. If Virginia starts tweaking on Twitch, you'll know why. Got some emails. We were talking about the self-checkout and how it's really even more big in Florida than some places because we got just an abundance of Walmarts, and Walmart is one of the biggest proponents of self-checkout and what it's all about. And there's a couple things about, one, they may have an item listed is for sale on the shelf, and then you scan it, and it's a different price. So you got to always kind of check that. That's one thing to watch out for. Sometimes things just don't scan, and you're like, what the heck? You think you scanned it, and you didn't. They got a camera or somebody that's watching you, and they may think that you're trying to shoplift, and you're not. And they may try to press charges, and all of a sudden you're like, I got to hire an attorney, and this is so damn complicated.
There's times, too, especially at a small Smart, you'll be there, and you don't realize that the price tag isn't on a shirt or something because it said $10.99 right there. Like, all right, I'll grab it. You get there and you'll have a similar item, so I'll go, you know what? I'll just scan that item twice.
Yeah.
It looks like it's the same price. Yeah, fuck it.
And then they talk just about how much stores are losing in inventory, but they're saying they are saving and not having to pay cashiers. So I guess it's all good. And somebody had also texted in. They said, another big part of it too is that, a lot of these stores, they'll just kind of write that stuff off, So I guess there's a way that they can do that. And maybe it's the loss department and it's not as bad for them. So I assume they're doing all the math, but it seems like it lends itself to a lot of theft. Shannon said I was in a Walmart the other day in an extremely long self-checkout line, and there was a mom and her children in front of me. And I witnessed her not check out practically half of her cart.
Wow.
She was covered with bags of things that she did pay for, and I wasn't sure if she had forgotten it or she was just doing it on purpose. But there was a store employee standing by, supposedly watching, and even helped her with scanning something, and he either didn't see or didn't care. Should I have called her out?
No.
What would you guys have done?
No.
Hell no. I'm not fucking
Do
getting
not
involved
get
in that.
involved in that. That has nothing to do with you. Do not call anybody out in the Walmart self-checkout. You never know what that woman's going through.
What could go wrong?
You never know if she's packing heat. There's too many variables.
Yeah. If there's someone getting their ass kicked or there's violence going on, you got to step in and try to help somebody. But on that something, I'm with the witch on that. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I'm not the Walton family.
No.
I'm not going to take a loss if she steals stuff.
I know it's wrong, and we're not saying go out and steal because we all think that's wrong.
Right, but it has nothing to do with you.
But I also don't want to get shot with a revolver.
Ay.
Ann said, I do sneak out at least one item from Walmart when I self-check. I consider it payment for me working for free. But am I a jerk for ordering Walmart groceries for pickup? Then when I get home, I go online and say I didn't get one item just to get it for free, like a pack of chicken or a case of water. I don't do it every time, but I don't feel bad about it. My family calls me a grifter, which is kind of true, I guess. Yeah, I mean, if you're doing something dishonest, you're going to have to go in the jerk category in my book.
Yeah, I mean, you're stealing, and you have a plan to steal, and your kids are watching you, just so you know.
And there's like another. It seems like there's a whole thing going on. You're getting on the computer, and there's coupons, and what the fuck?
You're saying that the employee didn't give you the stuff that they are saying they did give you, and you don't know the ramifications for that employee that packed those bags. Like, what if it comes back on them?
Yes,
like,
you're a jerk.
Why would you want all that bad karma?
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying the act is a jerk.
If you're intentionally taking something that you didn't pay for, and you're
planning
job in the system.
You've got an orchestrated plan to do it, not every time. But
I mean, it's premeditated as fuck.
Yeah.
If this was murder, you're going down.
If your kids and your family are watching you, What kind of example are you setting?
Got a text, and somebody had said, back to your drinking excursion. They said, I don't drink, but we have a friend that every time everyone is drinking, they go around and order waters for everyone or just remind everybody to drink water. Is it me, or is that just annoying?
Oh, buzzkill Carmen over there.
I don't know. I kind of like when somebody does that because as long as they're not doing it like mean or aggressive, it is good for me to work in a few waters. And when you remind me, then I'm like, oh, yeah, you're right. I want to do that.
That's different than somebody going around. Because the person that's going around doing that, they're letting everybody know the booze hounds need to tone it down a bit.
It's all about your approach. How are you dispersing the waters?
If you give everybody a water and you're not standing over them and making them drink it, then, yeah, I think that's a nice gesture. I would not be upset if somebody that'd be like, oh, cool, thanks, man. I do appreciate it. And I wisely would probably work some of that down with the alcoholic beverage I was drinking. I'd probably thank them for it later. If they were like, come on, man, you got to drink the rest of that water before we go to the next bar or whatever.
No.
Yeah, don't do it that way. So you're right. It's the approach.
It is. Because it could come off a little passive-aggressive if you're not careful.
Somebody texted and said, Kev, do you think it's because you were traveling and drinking? I know when I fly and drink, it takes me time to recover. Yeah, I think it's a little mix of everything because you get the different altitudes that messes and jacks with your body. And I'm doing things to try to prepare to fly too. I'm trying to stay away from germs. So just flying alone, that takes a toll on me. Drinking takes a toll on me. And the other thing is I'm not eating my regular food. And I've even had situations where I didn't have any alcohol and I've eaten something. And the next day I'm like, why do I feel like I'm hungover? So, yeah, so it's a combination of all three. So that's the trifecta.
You got that bitch ass tummy?
Yeah, well, my system is so, because it's so regulated. I do everything like clockwork that my body doesn't like any kind of twists or turns.
I am so sensitive now, where when I was in my 20s, I was not sensitive to salt. Now I am, and it sucks.
I love salt. Gosh, it's so good.
I do too, but I can feel it. If I have like a salty thing the next day, like, I don't know, I just feel like my ankles are retaining water. I feel like I can't bend my fingers as well because they're all puffy and stiff.
I can feel it on my taste buds, and I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm the same way. Puffing up.
Puffy.
And the other thing, too, I think for me was I had that Portillo's beef sandwich.
Oh, that is so salty.
And it's so salty. It's in the beef au jus, and it's bread.
And the cheese.
Yeah, I don't know if it had cheese on it or not. Probably did.
Mine had cheese.
But yeah, I think that too. The bread jacked me up. But man, it was so freaking good.
It is. It's delicious. I mean, I just got to be able to say, okay, why can't you just have half of the sub? Why do you have to eat the whole sub? If I just had half of it, I would probably not have been nearly as puffy. But no, it's in front of me. It's delicious. I have to eat the whole thing.
I mean, honestly, sometimes when something's delicious and I'm still a little full, I like to power through that son of a bitch because I love food. I like the way it tastes. I get it. It's, you're not supposed to go through the barrier.
Yeah.
You're supposed to power through, but sometimes food just tastes fucking great.
I just feel so crappy afterwards now, where I didn't used to feel this way. Getting old is a bitch.
I mean, what the fuck? You dinosaurs.
I'm a puffy pussy.
You puffy pussy dinos.
Yeah.
What the shit,
I
man?
used to get margaritas with salt on the rim, okay? I used to go balls out at the Mexican restaurant. Give me 8 of them. Margaritas, salt on the rim, every one. If I had one margarita with salt on the rim now, I would feel so shitty.
I can't eat these potato chips with the salt, but give me 9 glasses of jungle juice.
Yeah, I never used to have these issues. So.
Never.
Yeah.
I never used to have these issues.
Turn into a bitch.
This
man.
is a new
Sucks.
thing.
Oh, believe me, you're gonna find me having the biggest pizza heart attack ever. My heart's just going to explode into a big pizza.
Yeah, Mr. J gave us the scientific term. It's the decreasing metabolic rate that comes with aging. Yeah, so as your body prepares for death, you can't drink as much. Which I want to drink more now that I know I'm closer to death. Which that's why it's a vicious
Now I'm
circle.
freaked out and I need a cocktail.
Do you want to go into the next level with the buzz, or do you want to go straight up sober?
There is a song called Sober. It is a country song, and it's about I don't want to go sober. And I'm like, you know what? It brings joy to life. I'm okay. I'd like a little buzz. I don't think I want to go. I'm hoping I don't go completely hammered, but yeah, going a little buzz I'd be fine with that. You know what? I'm not gonna have a hangover the next day.
It's like, Bird, do you want to get this operation with or without the anesthesia? I'll take the anesthesia. Give me a little bit of, give me a little liquid courage on this one.
Anything less rough.
Yes.
Anesthesia makes things less rough.
Well, I just remember when I gave the kidney to Bigfoot, that we were both really, really anxious and nervous because we're going.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal, and they gave us a little of the anesthesia or whatever, whatever the stuff was to make your anxiety go down. I think it was
intravenous meds that are like for anxiety or pain.
Yeah. It was. We still had a good 5 minutes to wait, and you felt it a little bit. And the one doctor comes back and goes, "Do you guys want a little bit more?" We both, I think, at the same time, go, "Fuck yeah!"
Whatever they give you right before surgery, I know because I've got that too.
Well,
it is so fun, and you're like, "This is a party." I don't know what that drug is, but it is a party.
It went from me being afraid and nervous to fucking take my liver too. Take both the kidneys. I don't give a shit. Take my brain. I didn't give a shit. I was in the best mood.
You want to talk?
And then 90 seconds later, I was out.
The nurse was like talking to me. I was talking back, and she was like, we were having the best rapport. It was so nice.
I wanted to talk a lot.
Yes.
I did, man.
It is so funny.
That's what happened when they gave me Ativan. I thought I was having a heart attack. I went to the ER. Remember I told you about that?
Yeah.
They gave me Ativan, which I guess is an anxiety whatever.
Intravenous.
And within 45 seconds, I'm talking about my ex-girlfriend. I'm talking about all this heavy shit.
Is that what they give you before surgery, Ativan?
I don't know, but when I went to the hospital at the ER that one time, they gave me that, and that was truth serum.
If we could get that, how great of a bit would that be? The Ativan Diaries.
Kevin, anything you want to know.
We just open you right up and just delve right into that book.
Well, then it wears off, and I'm back.
I can't even imagine.
I'm back at home going, what the fuck did I say?
Yeah, could you imagine the horror if you come in, it's your day for Ativan Diaries, and you're like, what did I say?
And you've been keeping secrets?
Yeah.
I know for a fact that there were some people that worked at the hospital that listened to our program. So it was people that came. There was more than 6 people in the room, and I think that they knew I was going to be okay, and they heard me talk, and they go, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Come in here, man. He say a lot of weird shit.
I bet you they hear such weird shit.
Yeah.
When people are given whatever that drug is right before surgery, you just start talking.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're given all the information and the secrets. And
terrifying.
Those nurses must hear so much.
The Ativan, though, the one not for the kidney, the other one, that one really was talk, because you're not. I wasn't dying. I wasn't having surgery. I was having an anxiety attack, thinking it was a heart attack.
I know we could probably never get any legitimate doctor to do this, but what if we did a KVJ Ativan podcast?
I mean,
all of us get Ativan and then try to do a podcast.
I'd ruin my life. I would.
I'd
be fired. I'd be divorced.
We would all ruin our life.
My kids would never talk to me again. My dad would disown me.
It would be a 9-minute podcast.
It'd be a clear break all across the board. Any friend that I've ever met will never talk to me again.
I was so chatty on it. Like, I couldn't wait to tell all the details.
It'd be terrible.
Yeah, I did not like the way.
I'd be canceled.
Yeah, it made me feel real weird after when it wore off. Because you just go, oh my gosh. Because I remember some of the things.
What did I do?
I was just
Terrifying.
being so
Why did I
open.
do that?
Yeah. Oh, it was awful.
All right, Ativan podcast.
Wow, that's crazy.
People go, poor Kevin. He's holding back so much.
I am.
That man is a box of secrets.
Oh my gosh. A volcano.
There's a lot in here.
It's just going to explode one day.
There's a lot in there. Ativan would be my worst nightmare.
He's going to explode one day, but it's going to be something so. It's going to be dead as he snaps at the wrong person. You're like, fuck everything.
No.
I know, I'm kidding.
Love that boy.
I'm joking.
Lindsay had said about Portillo's, your salty sandwich. I moved to Orlando recently, and they've got a Portillo's. They also have one in the Tampa area.
Wow.
And I also discovered that we've got a Las Spadas. That's amazing. So Orlando might be arguably one of the best cities for food. And here's the reason why. It's not that they have tons of great chefs or things like that, but they know everybody comes there and they want the familiar food. It's where you find all the chains that you don't get. You'll get the White Castles and all that kind of stuff that they have in that city.
It's variety.
Yeah, it really is.
It's so much cool, different stuff. And there's no way that you have all of that in your hometown. So it's like special.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's some pretty cool stuff. I'm trying to think, if you put together the ultimate sandwich shop, let's say you had a sandwich mall. Could you imagine this, Bird? A strip shop of the best. You would have to put a Portillo's in there. In fact, it would have to be massive because, like I said, the line at the Portillo's is really huge. You go into this place, and it looks like it could be a basketball arena.
Wow.
It's so damn big, and you're standing in this huge – they have enough capacity for you to stand in line for an hour. And they go through the whole thing, so you would need a lot of room. But a Portillo's, a Las Espadas would be in there.
There's a
Philly cheesesteak.
Yeah, and I'm not. It's the Las Espadas because I never knew there was in Orlando. I knew there was one in Boca, and I knew there was one in Davie. The one in Orlando says it's a Las Espadas steak and something shop. So I'm wondering if it's the same owners.
I don't know. Yeah, would you be able to go in there and order a monster?
I don't know.
Because that's the big signature sandwich that they got at Las Espadas here in South Florida, at least.
You guys remember a Baines Deli?
No.
It's usually in food courts, and they had them a lot down here. There was one in the Fort Lauderdale, or I think the Davie Mall. It's really good.
Okay.
Baines Deli I'd put in there.
Okay. Yeah, what is the one place that's on, I think it's from Pittsburgh.
I know what you're talking
Primanti's.
about. Primanti Brothers.
Primanti Brothers,
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That might make it as well.
Russo Subs, I know they're beloved.
Yep.
Yeah, but it would just be, let's say you had 10 of the best sub stores or sandwich shops that you could get anywhere in America.
Colombinos.
Oh, Colombino's. That place. If you have not tried their cheese bread, you are letting the best of life pass you by. It's right off Forest Hill Boulevard and Military Trail. I pass it anytime I go to my dentist, and I always will stop there and get a fuck ton of cheese
Hopefully
bread.
after the dentist,
I
not
do.
before.
I do. I always celebrate with a pizza. I do. It's my thing.
Yeah, somebody said Sarusi subs they put in there. But it seems like a lot of these towns, they do have that signature place to go eat. Like you were talking about. In fact, there are two places in Philly if you want the cheesesteak. I can't remember what the two names are.
Geno's and Pat's.
Okay, Geno's and Pat's, yeah. And I can't remember, one's supposed to be really good and one's supposed to be BS.
They're
but
both
it's still
awesome, but they're
Yeah.
just different. I did it. I did the challenge. I woke up and had them both for breakfast, side by side. They're just different, but they're both great.
I've heard. Yeah.
Well,
it's-
I thought one was supposed to be really, if you know.
I don't
if you're
know.
from Philadelphia, you only go to one and not the other.
I've just seen a
don't
lot
know.
of people debate them because
Okay.
the witch is right. Because I think the people talk shit about the one they don't like.
One of them's more Hollywood, and you go over there, and it's got like all these celebrity pictures on the wall and everything. And the other one is more down home, mom and pop looking, with more historical pictures like on the wall. So I think they have two different vibes too.
Does a public sub make your 10? Your elite 10?
No.
Whoa.
I don't know if it does.
Controversial.
I don't know. Honestly, because I'm just thinking about where the Portillo's is, and I think I would do a Las Espadas over a Publix.
I
sub.
would too.
Yeah.
That's how much I love Las Espadas and their honey mustard.
Yeah.
Woo.
So, yeah, right now, I know, hey, pub subs, man. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they would be. I can't say confidently that they would because right now Portillo's and Las Espadas is ahead of Publix.
Have you ever had the debris sandwich from Mother's in New Orleans? That's that po' boy that they just dip the whole thing in the au jus and then
No,
wrap it up and give it to
I
you?
would love that. In fact, I don't think I ordered well when I went to Mother's. I think I got the shrimp po' boy.
Okay, yeah,
It
you
was-
didn't.
Yeah, it was good, but, you know.
Now, if I had to make a plaza
Could've
with
done better.
with the shittiest subs, number one, there you go, Quiznos.
Oh, damn.
They're still around, huh?
They are still around. I got so sick on Quiznos. And that's all that needs to happen one time with a certain kind of food, and you're done. But I got really bad.
You don't like Quiznos.
It's not my cut dog. Dang. I don't. I'm pretty sure they don't advertise. Okay. I don't even think they're in the area, right?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I haven't seen one, so I think you're good. We're going to walk outside, and that little guy's going to be out there.
The Quizno guy.
Crispy, or whatever the fuck he says.
Motherfucker, you got me sick.
Mike sent in this email. He said, I can't even describe how wrong Virginia is on searching for a local in a different country to guide you when traveling. A complete stranger that can take advantage of you when in a foreign land is a very real problem for tourists. My friend tried that and wound up robbed of his money and passports.
I never said a local in the foreign land, you douche.
I
said a
go
local
on to Facebook, right,
that
and find
lives
somebody.
here. Talk to somebody you know and say, hey, do you know anybody from Bangladesh? And somebody you know is going to know somebody, hopefully. You do your research in the States. You don't go overseas and find a random and be like, hey.
He said the smart way to travel is to research and verify everything you plan to do and stay over in the country. If you do travel with a local, it has to be a friend or a well-known accomplice, not a Facebook friend that can prey on tourists. Again, V should not be telling people to go on Facebook to find a tour guide. That is also how sex trafficking happens in other countries as well.
Yep.
In your own friend circle, you asshat. Oh, whatever. If you talk to people you know, you'll find somebody who knows somebody from anywhere. That's all I was saying.
The person was, because I got confused when you were talking about it yesterday. I thought you were saying the same thing, but you did, like you didn't.
I
you
reiterated
did.
what I meant, and he just didn't fucking pull the wax out his ears to hear it.
That does happen sometimes, where you'll say something on the air and somebody doesn't hear the whole thing. You go, no.
I don't mean go to Mexico and make a new friend, asshole.
So you've called them douche? No, sorry. Douche, asshat, and asshole.
You want to work a few more in?
Who says we can't take critiques?
Well, come at me, bro, when you actually have your facts right.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I never would tell somebody to go to a foreign land and make a new friend. Ay. I'm aging out of earth.
Got a couple of other suggestions here. Jessica had said, for shows to watch, you must watch Generation Wealth. Very interesting, full of celebrities. Okay.
Generation Wealth? What's that on?
I don't know. I've never heard of that.
That sounds good.
I could not think of a worse thing to watch.
Ooh, Generation Wealth.
Tracy said, Kevin, go for Untold on Netflix, The Girlfriend That Didn't Exist. It's a documentary on Manti Te'o. Yeah, you know what? The Mexican Queen was watching that in the hotel room on our first morning when we were in Chicago. So I heard a little bit of it, and I'm a little familiar with the story. It's pretty fascinating. Now, it is based around football, but it's more so around catfishing.
Oh, I love catfishing.
And this was a guy who played football for Notre Dame, pretty good football player. And just what I remember, because I was only listening to it, I wasn't really watching it. So this is off the top of the dome, so I'm going to get some things wrong here. But the guy wound up meeting somebody online. This is really before catfishing was a well-known thing. In fact, his story really broke out the word catfishing, and you found out more about it. And he had this, it was somebody who was catfishing him, somebody that was trying to play like they were this girl. He's Polynesian. He's very faith-based because he was at Notre Dame. And so, this female supposedly is meeting all the marks, and they would talk, and they would never do any kind of FaceTime. And maybe it wasn't as big then, but she would always have an excuse.
Yeah, I don't know if it was as popular back then. In fact, I think it was not.
Yeah, and then the whole thing had happened. They did like a TV broadcast about how apparently she had leukemia and then passed away. And so you have this whole game where I think he lost a family member, a close family member too. And they're like, he's playing with this burden, but then he played out of his mind in this football game. And so it was well publicized about his girlfriend that had just died. And he was talking to her right before she died on the phone. And just, the emotions of this thing. And then when people found out the girlfriend wasn't real, people were like, wait, what?
I remember them making a lot of fun of him, and I felt bad for him.
Oh, I felt bad for him, too. People forget, just because you're in the limelight, especially if you're an athlete, doesn't mean you want to be out there talking about your business and being outgoing and letting everyone know what's going on. I felt very bad for him, too.
Yeah, so that's kind of with, college football just on deck. That's kind of where people were talking about this Manti Te'o. So, yeah, I'll hopefully get to that. Untold, the girlfriend that didn't exist.
People are calling you out, Kev, saying catfishing was way before going on. Before that, on MTV, they had that catfishing show. They did have that a lot.
Okay.
And I actually
Well,
had.
then he's just fucking stupid.
Well, that's why people were making fun of him. That was a big reason why people. Yes,
He should have known better. Is what you're
that's
saying.
oh
Okay.
yeah, that was a big part of it.
All right.
I don't think you can ever be mad at somebody like that just believes in the goodness of people because they haven't been duped yet. I was totally on Manti Te'o's side.
Well, there's no need to be a dick to somebody.
Don't be a dick to
Well,
him
he's not-
after he's been catfished.
Well, he's not beating anybody.
No.
The man, like I'm saying, so it's hard for some people to meet people.
It was a heartbreaking story.
Yeah, just because you're a big time football player doesn't mean you're out there crushing it with the ladies. You know, maybe that was comfortable for him to do that. I know a lot of people have been catfished.
Well, here is, I mean, the reasons why it did line up more than your average person is that. These football players, in fact, Christian Wilkins is very much like this when I talk to him, is that they shut it down for the season and they really don't talk to anybody else. They're not doing social media. They're not having conversations. The circle of people that they communicate with outside of that football complex, it's very few and far between. They just don't want any kind of distractions. They got so much going on and you got so many things that can get in your head.
Well, I feel special then because he was DMing us.
Yeah. Well, and that was before the season really kind of kicked off. I think you probably won't hear from him.
You
much.
mean like when it starts?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Right, when they kick in, then you're not going to really hear anything from them at all.
People are reminding us too about what he was. I guess someone died twice in the same day, and they were going, "How can you be this dumb?"
Yeah, I'll have to watch it.
Yeah,
Like I said,
that's what I'm saying.
I'm only going off of the top of my head. So.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I don't know many of the details with it, so I got to watch it.
That's a rough go. Just imagine you're just trying to play football. And
right.
Everyone's made boneheaded decisions in their life where you go back and go, man, I should have been a little bit more smarter than that. I should have been a little.
But he did it for love.
Yeah, you're human. You're a human being. All the other shit that goes on, people are going to give the guy a hard time for that. Mm-hmm. Fuck them.
Exactly. So, yeah, I will definitely watch that because I don't have all the details down. I'd like to get them, so that'll be a good watch.
It's good. It looks good.
Let me see. For Jaybird on Hulu, it's Behind the Mask. It's also a documentary. It's about the life of mascots. I found season 1 was better than 2. Okay. For Virginia, I can't believe you haven't watched it yet. The Secrets of Playboy, also a documentary. It's very juicy, and I can't wait to hear what you think. I think I've seen that.
I know what you're talking about because I just listened to a podcast with Holly Madison and Bridget Marquardt, or however you say her name. And they talk a lot about they couldn't even watch some of the episodes of that because it just made them feel so triggered.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I think I definitely need to go watch the Playboy new special that just came out with.
It's a brand new one?
Yeah, I think relatively new. Now, I think it was like...
I saw one maybe a year ago, something like that.
Episodes used to drop every week, wherever it was on, because the girls would say like they would get so stressed on the day that it was dropping and they couldn't even like watch it. But people would be texting them about it, and it would just trigger them and get them all upset and emotional about their time in the mansion.
Okay.
They talk some pretty interesting details about what it was like, who had to sleep with Hef, how that all went down. I was fascinated.
Damn. Yeah, no, it's an interesting story.
They each had to jump on Pop, and whoever hops on Pop first doesn't get as sloppy seconds as the rest of them. So it's a competition of who gets to go first.
Oh, my gosh.
And they each have to take 5 minutes.
I mean, first of all, just what you're hopping on is gross, and it's gross. Billy from Maryland sent an email, and he said, heard you guys talking about Sylvester Stallone, and I thought I'd give you my story about him. For one, my father-in-law grew up next to the Stallones in Wheaton, Maryland, and they played together as kids, said they are great people.
Wow.
The story is, though, my dad's good friend opened up a loan insurance business in the 70s in Potomac, Maryland. Let me see. Anyway, Sly came to my dad's buddy asking for a loan, telling him he needed it to move to L.A. and was going to make these boxing movies.
Aw, that's awesome.
He gave him the whole story of the Rocky movies and told my dad's friend if he was given the loan, Stallone would give him 10% of whatever was made off of them, which would have been millions of dollars. Hindsight is 20/20, of course. My dad's buddy denied the loan. And a few years later, Rocky came out, and the rest is history.
Wow.
How about that, huh? Yeah, I hear great things about Sylvester Stallone, who's getting his place ready on Palm Beach. And the story came out today, and hopefully it's just a bunch of smoke. You never know with these things, but they're saying his wife, Jennifer Flavin, of 25 years, might be having some problems. They say that Rocky, Sylvester Stallone, just had a giant tattoo of Jennifer on his right bicep covered with a picture of Butkus, Rocky's bull mastiff from the hit movies. And apparently Flavin was hinted that it might be over on Instagram in a picture of her hugging their 3 daughters, and she's no longer following Sly on Instagram. But Stallone's publicist is insisting there are no problems between the pair, and it's all just a misunderstanding over a botched refresh of his wife's portrait on his arm.
Well, publicists are some of the most honest people on the planet.
Sure, yeah. But, you know, I did hear the story today, too, that the Stallones were one of the biggest abusers of too much water in Los Angeles. And he has his place clearly there, you know, and this does happen. Maybe this is the second house in Palm Beach that he would have, but is it possible that he's like, all right, things aren't going well, screw it, I'm going to Florida, you stay here in L.A.?
Well, we know he's a big fan of the show, and hopefully he can call in and, you know.
I know he goes over to various hotels on the island, and he's very friendly to people that come up to him with friendly and love. He gives it right back and will sign autographs, take pictures.
I really am a big Stallone fan of his movies, even the movies that aren't that popular or would be traditionally considered good. I like them still.
Yeah, he really has had an amazing career. I mean, I know he was the biggest action star there in the late 80s to the early 90s, but you almost feel like now you need to put a little bit more love on that name. We need to remember just how great Sly Stallone's career has been.
An underrated movie Stallone is in is Copland. Do you remember that one? It's got a bunch of people in
and I'm
that.
not even sure I've seen that.
That's a good fucking movie.
I've heard that.
Have you seen that?
I don't think I've ever seen that.
To me, that's one of his best acting jobs. He plays he's deaf in one ear from saving some girl when he was younger, and that's how he lost his eyes or his hearing. It's really good. He does a great job. You feel bad for him in the movie.
Okay. I've checked that out.
I hope
Sounds
you guys
good.
do.
I've never even thought about watching Copland.
Your other boy's in it. The guy, he's real outspoken on social media. Michael Rappaport, he's in it.
Oh, okay.
He's in it. Yeah, there's a lot of big-time actors in there.
Okay. Put that on your list. So there you go. Thank you for all these suggestions. Always love hearing what you got to say. If you want to add to the conversation, just send us an email. mail@kvjshow.com, mail@kvjshow.com. Have an amazing day. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems, ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.